Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern, and this is at the request of Patreon subscriber Choo Choo Beans, who has to be playing Mono Blue Sanity Grinding Mill. Sanity Grinding, I remember when this card came out, it was very exciting. At the time when, I believe this is Eventide? Yeah, Eventide. At the time when Eventide came out, we basically had Glimpse the Unthinkable and no other good mill cards in the history of Magic. Like Traumatize was a big mill card with a lot of casual appeal, but wasn't actually good. And Sanity Grinding, you gotta do some work, but this thing can mill a lot. Blue sorcery. Reveal the top 10 cards of your library, or each blue mana symbol in the mana cost of the revealed cards. Target opponent mills a card. Then put the cards revealed this way on the bottom of your library in any order. So the job here is to saturate your deck with as many blue mana symbols as you can. Traditionally, mill is blue-black. It gives you removal. And Surgical's mostly a colorless card, but you get main deck Surgicals. You get Drown in the Lock. There's a lot of good black cards that you're interested in mill, but those dilute your blue pips. So we're mono blue here. A lot of the cards you want to cast anyway are full of blue pips. Hedron Crab, Ruin Crab are just blue. Visions, blue. Fractured Sanity, blue. Big hit there. Tasha's is one blue. Archive Trap is blue. And Choo Choo Beans cheated on the land count to replace 4 of the normal lands. Stock mill plays like 22 lands. There's 18 in this deck plus 4 Seagate Restoration, which is a tough beat versus like Burn or Prowess or Zoo, all of which are in the modern format. But having lands that hit for 3 cards rather than being lands when you reveal them off Chroma is a pretty big deal. This is also a heater to put under Shelldock Isle if we ever get there. Because we don't get Drown in the Lock or Fatal Push, we have to play more counterspells type interaction in mono blue. Actual counterspell, blue on the pips, and it's just a great card. Subtlety as a 4 of. Choo Choo had a split between Subtlety and Force of Negation, and I just think Subtlety's better in Modern right now against almost every deck. So I'm on 4 Subtlety. I've removed Force of Negation from the deck. The list Choo Choo sent me also only had 2 Tashas and 0 Jace. I went up to 4 Tashas. This is one of the cards that you really want to build a mill deck around. The Exile helps you beat Emrakul's out of the sideboard. This hits a lot of decks in the format like a truck. A lot of the low-cost decks like Hammer, just see you later, 15 cards. And Jace of Perfected Mind. I wanted at least some way to interact with the board. That's also why I added an Auto-Wire to the mana base. Jace plus to get -3/-0 on a creature is pretty reasonable. Can buy you some time. And then Devastation Tide. This was Choo Choo Tech. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands for 3 blue, or you can Miracle it for 1 and a blue. Pretty solid there. The sideboard, once again, we don't get black cards. We could have played Surgical and Leyline, which are honorary black cards, but I did stick to mono blue over here. Orvar is for creativity, which I always run into in the modern leagues. Dress Down hits any Urza Saga deck. It affects creativity positively. It affects Amulet in a big way. Dress Down's just a great card. Soul Guide Lantern for folks who are going to bring in Emrakul against you, or if they are a deck like Living End that's just playing out of the graveyard anyway. Ensnaring Bridge for anyone who wants to attack you. Echoing Truth if you need to remove generic permanents. And a spicy little Bribery. If I see an Emrakul, or suspect an Emrakul, I'm bringing in Bribery. We could try to just exile it when it hits the graveyard, or we could just hit our opponent with it. This one is the goofiest card in the list, but I'm going for it. Those are the card choices, but the plan is pretty straightforward. We're trying to remove our opponent's deck and make them lose because they can't draw a card. This is Mono Blue Chroma Mill from Choo Choo Beans. Let's do it. I'm on the play in round 1. 1 lander, don't love it, but I am going to keep Shelldock Isle solid. I have a redraw if I need one. I have multiple crabs here to get something going. And I have Archive Trap if they try to mess around. Would I rather have Jace or Archive Trap down the road? Jace mills 15 cards. Archive Trap mills 13. And then Jace also does other stuff. Yeah, I guess it's Jace. And pass the turn. That's not a fetch land. Come on. Thought we were going to hang out. Come on, fetch land for me. Uh-oh. I would rather put Crab into play and figure out my lands later. One lander pretty awkward, but doing what I can here. Okay, we are against Amulet, it seems. It's a good deck to have Subtlety against, and eventually Archive Trap will hit them. Another Tasha. Okay. I'm going to continue investing in success here. We're ready to go completely bananas as soon as we draw a land. Dryad of the Elysian Grove is coming down. I don't think this is my target for Subtlety. I'm going to save it for prime time. They picked up Cavern. They're probably going to try to prime time me next turn. All right, deck. Good time for a land right now. Let's go. Okay, that is a land. And Visions is an instant. I could Visions now. Holding up Counterspell I don't think matters because prime time will be uncounterable. I'm going to Visions now. See if I draw a fetch land or something better. Yeah, I'd rather play Island than Seagate Restoration. For a Tri-Belter and a Primeval Titan out of the deck. Cool thing about Subtlety is I can mill the Primeval Titan if they put it on top. Gardens, Cavern. We're hoping for a Pact here, not just a straight up Giant. Heck yeah. That lets me Archive Trap them. And I'm going to save it until the prime time's on top of the deck again with Subtlety. Subtlety is definitely happening. I think I'm pitching Counterspell. I'm just going to tap out for the rest of the game here. Here's the tech. Normal mill doesn't have this. They put Primeval Titan on top. In for 2. Respect it. End a turn. Get rid of Primeval Titan and 12 other cards. They're going to have to pay for Pact on their turn. And we're just on the Tasha train now. I would like to pay 3 life. Mill you for a bunch, and then Tasha you, and hope you can't win anymore, I guess. Splat. 24 cards enter the exile zone. Holy moly. That was a lot of those. That was the whole deck? Oh, I hit all of their prime times on my mill. I didn't even look, I was just casting my spells. Tasha for the whole deck. Top rope. Okay, Dress Down is for this matchup. Damping Sphere is for this matchup. Ensnaring Bridge is like fine, but I don't think we need it. Counterspell's pretty bad in the matchup because they have all the Caverns and Urza Sagas and stuff that they may or may not actually cast any spells. I can't Miracle a Devastation Tide effectively in this matchup. So that's probably just worse than Dress Down. I just have no way to set up the top of my deck intentionally. Maybe I should have Ensnaring Bridge. This deck has to Valakut me if they can't attack. Subtlety is just the nuts. If I were to put 4 Subtlety in a main deck, I would want to be paired into Titan. And here we are. Determining if I want to cut some Visions of Beyond, or do I cut from the top end and clip like a Jace here and leave a Visions in? Oh, are they going to Emrakul me? They might. I'm going to bring in my Bribery. I know they have Primeval Titans, even if they don't have Emrakuls. Alright, Shaving of Visions. That might be silly, but I have a feeling. Great start. My Crabs actually have land drops here. Field of Ruin is solid against this deck in general. I have Subtlety and Dress Down. Valakut right off the bat. I'm going to play the bigger Crab first. I doubt they have removal, but I'm going to play the bigger one just in case. Amulet of Vigor and Urza Saga is the play. Okay. Fetch land, busted. Hedron Crab, go get him. Prismatic Vista. Mill is extra wonky versus Amulet because there are things in their deck that they need when they're comboing off. Like you could just randomly take their like Slayer Stronghold or whatever, and then they're not functioning in the way that they want to. Is there any reason to fetch now? Am I going to fire off of Visions for 1? I guess I don't want to draw land. That's a reason to fetch now. Primeval Titan and a bunch of lands. Sunhome is in the graveyard now. That's what I'm talking about. There's just like a bunch of random stuff that they actually genuinely care about. Oh, nice. I can hold up Field of Ruin, or I could third crab, play field as land, and just hold up dress down and subtlety for a turn. That's where I'm at here. If they don't have a Emrakul type effect, they're dead here. Why is Hallowed Moonlight in their deck? Did I show them anything that would care about that? I don't believe so. Okay, my plan here is to BTFO both the dress down constructs and any looming titans with just dress down. They have to search their deck here, but I don't have the payoff. I could also just take 4 cast visions this turn. Yeah, I could take 4. That's fine. I don't want to use my dress down and then die to primetime next turn is my issue here. When I can just Ancestral Recall. Another Saga. End of turn Ancestral Recall. If their counterplay is Endurance, I can Subtlety that. It is. Okay. Subtlety pitching Seagate. We'll bounce this Endurance. Maybe you don't have 2 of them. Press down also works against Endurance, for the record, in case that comes up. Okay, we're in there. They put Endurance on the bottom, that's smart. I would like to play Oboro Palace in the Clouds. Kill you for 9. I just realized they have their whole sideboard in. That's certainly a thing you can do. I can Field of Ruin here and still have 2 up to dress down. Fuck, there is an Emrakul. Okay, disappointed. We're digging for Tasha's or Bribery at this point. Good news is we're in no danger of losing anytime soon, but we do have to figure out how we're going to win. Slayer Stronghold in the mix. Okay, now I got to buy some time. These are an issue. I didn't bring in my Graveyard Hate for Emrakul. I have 4 Tashas and the Bribery that can get it done. Field of Ruin. I'm just going to keep throwing crap at the wall here. I can Field of Ruin and still Sanity grinding this turn. Multiple Endurances, and let's grind their Sanity. I've revealed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on that one. I want Tasha's on the top of this. Dress down the Subtlety, and then after that I can go in any order. That all connected without hitting the Emrakul. Good news. There's 2 Primeval Titans in their graveyard right now. Or a Tribe Elder, sure. Okay, now I'm going to slow down on the milling a little bit, because Emrakul is in there somewhere. And I want Bribery or Tasha's. I actually can't slow down on the milling if I'm going to make a land drop. How many Endurances do we have here? 1, 2, and see 2 Endurances. Right deck, Bribery. Bribery! Uh-oh, another Ruin Crab. I don't want to take another spin here. I think I have to make my land drop. I can't not. And this is an important land drop. I could target myself with Hedron Crab, but let's just hope to either dodge or that they drew the Emrakul, or get them 3 deeper the next round. Yep, there's that. Okay, I guess I'm playing Hedron Crab. Or Ruin Crab. I don't know what's going on right now. And I guess I might as well Sanity grind now that we've hit the Emrakul. Destroy Valakut. That is my last basic. I've decided I'm not going to Sanity grind. I'm going to save this because the Emrakul is a problem. I can't just keep throwing crap against the wall. You know, land drop is free, air quotes free. But Sanity grinding is a real spell, and once I clear the Emrakul, I need a real plan. This does not fetch anything. Still going to play it though. Land drops have to happen anyway. Spells I'll save. No Emrakul. I'm 1 mana short of casting Seagate Restoration. Gardens has copied Amulet of Vigor. They can go bonkers if they want to. Boros Garrison is in the graveyard, but they have a plains and a multiple red sources, so they're going for it. They can have it here. Cultivator Colossus. Okay, that draws a bunch of cards. Maybe it'll die. Or draw the Emrakul. That's what I need here. Only 3 lands came in off of that. Not bad. I'm fully F6 at this point. They've resolved all their triggers. They have 12 mana in the pool. There's Pact. Titan probably wins here. It would be hard to miss. There are still Titans in the deck. As cute as Bribery was, now that I've seen Emrakul for sure, I'm bringing in the Soul Guide Lanterns. We have milled out their deck completely twice in this game already, and we're close to doing it a third time. It's just that pesky little Emrakul. Oh, Slayer Stronghold is in the graveyard. Cool. That takes some pressure off. That's their haste thing, unless they also have a Anweir Garrison. Is that what that card's called? Transmuting Teleria West, getting another Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact. Is it time to Dryad and Valakut me out? Or just getting Endurance? Sure. That's a good insurance policy. Endurance yourself. Okay, we some action here. Bribery. Tasha's. Guess I'll start there. See if I can take the Emrakul randomly. I did take the Emrakul randomly. Okay. Saying there's a chance. I'm going to pay 1 to bounce Oboro. And replay Oboro and mill my opponent for 12. We're now facing down a whole lot of BS. But if I can get through one turn here, we've got something resembling a plan. Sanity grinding. Good for 18. Tasha's. Sanity, and then it doesn't matter. Okay, pass the turn. Just making sure I don't have a 6th island, and I do not. And we're probably dead here, like almost certainly, but I'm gonna make my blocks and see what happens. We have 2 packs they have to pay for. Primetime gets to trigger this turn. Colossus is currently 7/7, could be 9/9 when we get to combat between land drops and Sakura Tribe Elder. Most of their stuff tramples, unfortunately. Oh, right. Primetime trigger also grows Colossus, obviously, so it's going to be larger than I wanted. All right, what else we got here? Is there another Teleria West for another Pact for another Endurance? That's a line they have. Liking the Emrakul on that random Tasha's was so nice, though. We have another Teleria West. Will they have the mana to do that? They still have their land drop, so yeah, for sure. Picked up Teleria, 6 men in the pool, but we're mid-combat. Might as well make a construct to make sense. Okay, time to figure out blocks. We have an 8/8, a 6/6, and a 3/3, or 3 power. If there's a basic in the deck, and I just block Endurance, they can win. I see a forest, a plains, another forest. I'm gonna block Endurance with Crab, and if they have one more basic, they got me. I just need to maximize my outs here. I'm going to 1 on this attack. Unless they put another land into play, then I'm dead. I'm just gonna hope they don't have one. Alright, they are popping the Steve. They would know better than me. Okay, you did it. That's fine. Soul Guide Lanterns coming in. The Bribery is cute, but not what I want. I think I'm off the Ensnaring Bridge thing. We milled them out 2 3/4 times that game through the Emrakul, and if we just answer Emrakul, we're fine. The Dress Down Subtlety business, great against their deck. Gotta watch out for Endurances, but Soul Guide Lantern also stuffs Endurance. Definitely keeping the Bribery in. I still think it's Visions. It's nice to reload, but also, like, if they're going to be looping their graveyard, it's not necessarily reliable. Snapkeep. Sand is what they call the nuts. Crab. Saga. Amulet. Okay. See what I draw here. I want to make sure I don't get turn 2'd, which is pretty unlikely, but can happen. Okay. I'm going to mill them for 3 and then play Damping Sphere. Let's just slow down any possibility of shenanigans. Next turn, the Saga popping will force activate the Archive Trap, and I will have Soul Guide Lantern in play by then. Another Amulet. Alright, I'm glad I played this Damping Sphere. Safety first, kids. Here's a Simic Growth Chamber that taps for 1 colorless. 1 colorless in the pool. You got it. Picked up Saga. Okay, protecting their Saga, or playing around Archive Trap, or all of the above. I would love a land, a fetch land specifically. No love there. But I will play the Soul Guide Lantern and just be ready. Exile Sunhome from your graveyard. That's a relevant combo piece. They can win without it, but getting rid of it's nice. Urza Saga. They still don't have any colored mana. Yeah, land, let's go. Grab you. And I don't really want to be able to ruin them because that could turn on Boseiju. But I also kind of do want to Field of Ruin them because it turns on my whole hand. All of the things I would want to do are instant, so I can just hold out for a second. Basic Forest is just strictly better than Simic Growth Chamber on this board by a lot. Another Growth Chamber. I could destroy Urza Saga in response, and then they don't get... Yeah, I'm pretty into this, actually. This could be a trap, and giving them colored mana might punish me. But this turns off the Saga, forces a search. I'm going to mill them for 16 as a result of this. See if they have Boseiju now in response to all these floats and taps. Nope, didn't even float. Cool. And they picked up the basics. So they have 3 colorless mana right now. The end step, trap you. Bunch of stuff that's not Emrakul hit the graveyard. I'm kind of locked under my own sphere right now, because if I Sanity grind and I hit the Emrakul, but they pitch cast Endurance, I can't Subtlety back on the Endurance because my spells will cost more. Kind of a dirty trick. They have 7 cards in their hand. One of them is Basic Forest. I think I'm just going to hold back because they're not functioning right now. And between Dress Down and Soul Guide Lantern, I have Emrakul and Endurance covered. When I draw my next land, I'll go for the grinding. Or I can just keep hitting land drops and mill them out that way. We're playing Mono Blue Mill Control here. Arboreal Grazer. Okay. Guess I could have dressed that down for style. Not totally convinced I care about it, though. Another crab. Done. Done deal. I can still dress down. I can't dress down and subtlety, but I'm unlikely to need both. Another basic. Next turn, they can start prime timing, if that's what they're into. Be pretty into this land. If I can hardcast subtlety, that's even better. Come on, fetch land. Yeah, fetch land. Easy game. Kill you for 6. That's an endurance gone. And I am going to fetch now. I'm coming for you. Kill you for another 6. There's the Emrakul. It's go time. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Do you have endurance? Summoner's Pact 4 endurance. That's awesome. Summoner's Pact, go ahead. And the endurance is going to cost more. I haven't played a spell yet this turn. So I can dress down and subtlety if I have to do both. Dress down. Okay, dress down's in. Endurance is not going to work. I drew another land. Endurance bricks. Exile your graveyard, including Emrakul. Mill control. Too good. Okay. I have my next land drop. I still have subtlety and dress down to stop their actual Primeval Titan stuff. And I just have to not die to this endurance before I take their last 23 cards, which, with Sanity grinding in the mix, should be pretty easy. You have to pay for Pact, and then Saga pops without making a construct. That construct wasn't going to last anyway. No way they have 2 Emrakuls, right? I'm living in fear. Another colorless source of mana. They do have an attacker now. To be able to navigate this one, though. Draw for turn. Tasha's. Okay. I think I'm just going to play Shelldock Isle and pass with all my interaction up. We're playing Mill Control. Sanity grinding under there. Yeah, I'll take that. Like, I could Tasha's them or Sanity grinding them. Either one might kill them here, or they might have another endurance and I lose. But I can pitch cast subtlety and clear endurance. But not if they endurance second, because then it'll be on top of their deck. Yeah, I'm just going to hold up dress down and win this game on the slow. Another Saga. Except going to 13 from this combat. My life total is now, for the second time in this game, lower than their deck total. Oboro, that's pretty nuts on this board, where all I have to do is outrace. I'm doing 6 a turn, they're doing 3 a turn. And let's give the actual win to the Sanity grinding that's under Shelldock. I think I want to do this in their upkeep, or if I do 1 now, then my interaction costs less on their turn. Now I'll go on their upkeep. That way dress down is in effect for their whole turn in case that matters. It's Sanity grinding, let's go. Just need you to be good for 8. Grind that Sanity. Acting in response. I love this trick. There's another Endurance. I have successfully milled more cards than they have. And then they forgot to cast their Endurance and died. Yeah, that's your draw step, homie. Whoops. Okay, mill control on the board. We had to take it slow, make some careful decisions, but that went extremely well. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw in round 2, I have a Crab, an Archive Trap. In. See what my opponent's up to here. Bloodstain Mire. That's susceptible to my Archive Trap. Cool, another land. Unfortunately, I had to spend a fetch land to get my Crab in. If they've got a Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push for this one. I have a Someday Path to Tasha's. It's not on curve currently, but Field of Ruin can activate and do stuff. But it looks like they have a removal spell. Oh shit, they tricked me. I just passed through that. Well, good news is, it's still in my hand. And yeah, I was like waiting for them to kill my Crab and then I was going to trap, and then they just didn't do that instead. Scourge of the Skyclaves, huh? Let's see what your deck looks like. Scourge of the Skyclaves is 1/1 currently. It can become larger quickly. Oh, whatever. You can have that. I'll save my subtlety for a real problem. Second Archive Trap, good news. Blood Tithe Harvester. I don't see a Croxa in this graveyard yet. That's the card I'm paying attention for. I can force the action on Archive Trap next turn. I can Subtlety a creature. I don't think I'm getting to 5 for this Devastation Tide this game. I think they'll be dead way before that. There is a Season Pyro in here. Fable is not something I can hit with Subtlety. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Sad little buddy. Okay, oh, I could just jam Tasha's now, but Field plus Archive Trap plus mess up their stuff I like better. Crab you, destroy one of your lands. Grab you again. You have a second swamp in there. Archive Trap you. Then Tasha should be lethal next turn. Still no Croaks in here that I can identify, but they do have all the like craziest possible full art and alternate treatment on every card in their deck. So a good chance I'm missing it because my brain's not registering it as the card I want it to be. Decline to draw any cards with Fable. You need all those. Good call. I can't block Scourge now because if they bolt me, my Crab dies. I'm just gonna take it and hope they don't have a combo kill. Because I for sure have them dead between Tasha's and land drop next turn, and I have Subtlety to be alive in the meantime. I just need to not die now. Uh-oh, stuff's happening. Bolt's good for 6 here because it pumps the Scourge. That's not lethal though. They're not a blue deck, so they can't dress down this into whatever it is at base. Oh, it's a Star at base. Okay, it doesn't work like Death Shadow. Okay. Okay, yep. Bolt. Skyclave becomes a 4/4. Weird, it's like I knew that could happen. Now I'm getting griefed. I am going to Subtlety this, because I want all of my kill spells. This puts a card in their deck, but I should be able to get through it. And whether they put Grief on top or bottom affects whether I land drop or Tasha's first, because this is a 4-drop that eats up a lot of Tasha pips. Put it on top. Okay, so I'm going to land drop first. Oh, sick. Well, now I basically can't fail. Seagate Reborn, shock it in, hope they can't deal 7 points of burn to me right now with the 1 card in their hand. I would be impressed. Get your deck out, and Tasha's Heinous Anus is on the stack. And they have 0 cards. Let's look at this deck. Cool, we did it. Okay. What kind of anti-ill technology will Grixis scam have? Or, I guess they're not Grixis, they're just Rakdos. I'm thrown off a little by Scourge of Skyclaves, because that card is generally not seen in decks, unless the tech has changed. Well, here we go, a deck list. We've got, it appears to be Stone Nothing is the answer to Mill. And once again, I'm a deck with 4 Subtleties, which is one of the best sideboard cards there is against Scam. And I have 4 in my main deck. I like Dress Down here. I don't think I need to go in on the bridges. Soul Guide Lantern. If they have a random Emrakul, this is how they're going to do it. Devastation Tide is fun if you miracle it, but pretty bad if you don't. Okay, I'm going to bring in 2 Soul Guides just in case, and 3 Dress Downs because it's just good in the matchup, and that's what I'm going to do here. Stock Mill just plays Surgical in the main deck, so you don't have to always respect Emrakul with a sideboard slot, but we're not doing that, obviously. I will keep this hand, though it is crabless. Okay, Shockland. We have a 0 fetch Grief situation. And I could subtlety a Grief, that's fine. A Grief, pitching a Grief. I'll subtlety that, pitching Visions of Beyond. Damn, please don't also have Ragavan. Dodge Ragavan, and Grief is on top of their deck. For now. Yep, Crabbo, get in there. Didn't get bolted. They could scam a lot of gas out of my hand here. No, Boro keeps the pressure on. Pitch Shouldered Edict. That's an answer to Crab. Okay, this is all gonna work. I expect they'll leave me with Visions, because that card sucks. Unless they want to play the whole game around Archive Trap. Wow, they took Visions. Okay. Alright, what's phase 2 of this plan? They're gonna leave me with some big O mill spell, either way here. Just a matter of how fast I get to it. Left me with Archive Trap, okay. If they don't have fetch lands, that's the smart one to do. Soul Guide Lantern right on time. Probably should have played Soul Guide before my land drop, in case they do randomly hit Emrakul right now. None of the cards in the graveyard are good. Guess I'll take Castle Lock, Dwayne. You love drawing graveyard, hate the turn after you get Grief scammed. I don't feel favored in the race currently. There's no reason to bounce Oboro in the end step, because if I draw a different land, I'd rather do that. And it's just like free to do. Up we go. And they drew a fetch land. I wonder if they regret leaving me with Archive Trap over grinding now that I'm missing land drops and they're hitting those. I have a spell I can cast. We are each attacking each other for 3 every turn, but they have, I started at 20 and they started at 60. We're just going to play that turn cycle over again. Different land, let's go. Working our way up to big spells. Tasha's is online now. Sanity Grinding's online now. At some point I can dress down and then block, because Grief won't have Menace. I'm not excited about that. I hope it doesn't happen soon, but it's a thing. A Tithe Harvester. I could dress this down so it doesn't make a blood. Is that important to me? I do kind of want to draw another card here. Yeah, I'll stuff the blood. And then get deeper into my deck. That's a spell. Let's go. Each opponent mills 14. That's a high number. Oh, sick. Alright. Well, Archive Trap is on when I want it on. I think I'd rather fracture their sanity right now, though. And mill 14. No, I have Archive Trap. I don't see a Croxa in there. They can now attack me for 6 a turn, which kills me a lot faster than 3 did. I can 13, 16, 19 card them next turn with what I have right now. So I'm going to take the max here. Hope they don't have Double Bolt. And then try to draw a spell. Second Crab wins it here. Right, come on now. Uh-oh. No, don't Fatal Push. No, I needed that so bad. Okay. I'm in trouble. Come on, payoff spell. Uh-oh. Alright, well, I guess I should have drawn a card. The end step was Soul Guide. Because now I have to do what? Draw exactly a second archive trap off of a soul guide. This brick in my hand. All right, exactly archive trap. That was normal. Mill is easy. On to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the draw for round 3. This hand has lands and spells in it. I'm going to keep... Ooh, Rip the Crab. I'm still going to lead on Shelldock Isle, because Crab, I can play it and mill right away. Sanity Grinding or Tasha's. Oh, actually all of these are bangers. And I'm going to take a mill spell, not a draw spell. I think in game 1, Sanity Grinding is probably better than Tasha's against all decks. Cycling Forgotten Cave in the end step. Alright, so we're some Ren and 6 pile. Alright, now I have a choice. I could Subtlety this, or I could just let them have their Ren. I'm going to let them have their Ren. Ren is good, but it doesn't, like, kill me directly, which any other cards do. I could cycle Sanity Grinding this turn, or I could get my Crab online. I'm going to make them deal with Crab first. Just fueling that Ren. You're welcome. Life from the Loam. Heck yeah. I'll just cast that one for you, don't worry. Yeah, I kind of like getting Crab down, milling for 3. We're 1 less mill and 1 fewer card into our deck by not cycling Fractured Sanity, but I'm just now untapping into Hardcast to get you for 14. Ren and Realm Breaker. Oh my god. Ren theme deck. I actually have one of these in the queue, believe it or not. It even goes all the way up to Ren and 7. Stick around for that one. Lands have tap for any color. 1 target land becomes a 3/3 elemental with Vig, Hexproof, and Haste until your next turn. Mill 3 cards, put a permanent from among them in your hand. And -7 emblem, you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Okay. I'm hoping this is the kind of dirtily fair deck that Mill just absolutely stomps. It's certainly looking like it. Okay, land is a creature. It doesn't untap it, but I guess you do want to plus your Planeswalker regardless. Backup Crab. I'm just going to start casting Fractured Sanities. Let's go. I can do both next turn. Alright, I'm going to fracture your Sanity. Are you ready? How's your Sanity? Got a Seismic Assault in here. Furies, Fables. Okay, glad I held on to Subtlety. I would rather hit a Fury with that than this Ren and 6. Okay, Seismic Assault is in. They can pick off my Crab. There's also pretty real output of damage over a short period of time. Crab's dead. I can Crab, land drop, Sanity next turn. They picked up Sokenzan. They're going for the damage now. I don't see any Endurance. That's the card I need to be worried about, I suppose. The Ruin Crab, get in. Oro, get you for 3. Fractured Sanity, get you for 14 more. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you're still over 20. All right, next turn, I can Sanity Grinding from Under the Bridge. Slowgurk's in there. I love this deck. Big fan of what you're doing, opponent. They're fetching. Extremely confident that they still have a land in their 7 cards. They did pay off. I need to not get 20 this turn through a Subtlety. Loam, targeting. Sokenzan. Foothills Boseiju. Okay. So they're probably going to Boseiju my Shelldock. That makes sense, but that does give me a land drop. And then Jace gets to finish them off. And I can even... I can't counterspell an Endurance. I would have to Subtlety it, which actually doesn't work if it happens in the wrong order. Because if you Subtlety Endurance as like the game-ending spell, then they just draw Endurance on their next turn. You need to Subtlety Endurance, then mill it. Just gonna hope they don't have that in their main deck. I don't see any copies, and they have a fun of. It's fine. Oh wow, Cycling Forgotten Cave. And Dredging Loam. They DGAF. Is there a way to pick up all your lands from your graveyard for 2 mana? Loam. Okay, they have 8 cards in their hand. A large number of them are lands. They can do a lot of damage right now. I hope I'm not actually dead to it, though. If we assume every card in their hand is a land, which I don't know if that's true or not, but that's 16 damage. Well, mill 3 cards, put a permanent in your hand. Do you have an endurance in your deck? Or are you just showing off your deck for the camera? Let's take a little screenshot while their whole deck's in front of me. Okay, they have 9 cards in their hand. They're flinging lands at me. Oh, Ren and 6 can still plus. I'm gonna get 20'd, just straight up 20'd right now. I think I am. That's awesome if true. I need 1 card in their hand to not be a land. Doesn't look like we're gonna get there. But Ren just picked one up. Okay, stop. Just 1 card in your hand, not a land. Just 1. Whoa. I did not like that. Just talking smack while my opponent goes off. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern, 1000%. They're a major graveyard deck, even without accounting for possible Emrakul shenanigans. They have Ragavan, Fury, Fable, all the things you'd expect from that. Counterspell does seem effective against their deck. Is it better than Subtlety? And I don't really want to get ragged. But am I going to pitch cast a Subtlety to stop a turn 1 Ragavan temporarily? I have crabs that can block rag. If I cut all my subtleties, bring in Echoing Truth, I can fight the board a little bit. I actually think I do want the Devastation Tides in case of emergencies. And as usual, going to cut a Visions. So my opponent is milling the crap out of themselves too, which makes Visions a lot more interesting. I still think I'd rather have the interactive spells. Okay, multiple crabs, and they're the 0-3 crab, which is bigger than Ragavan. Graveyard Hate, we're in. The opponent boarded to over 60 cards, as one does apparently. Let's hope that means they don't have Lightning Bolt to back up this Ragavan right away. Do I even care though? Like, am I blocking Ragavan if I know Ren and 6 picks it off, or do I just want second crab get to work? Okay, I don't have to decide. That was easy. Rag's getting to work here. Not a lot of cards in my deck that are good for them, but making treasures is good for everyone. Oh, Visions. Well, they get to draw a card if they want it. That was probably the best card they could have hit, and they didn't want it. Okay, Ruin Crab, get in. This is your job. This is your life now. And I could Shelldock, get to work on that, or I could get the Soul Guide in and fetch while the getting's good. I think I want the Soul Guide because I do have an untapped land, technically speaking, in Seagate Restoration. There's a Loam in that graveyard. There's an Endurance. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern. I'm going to take the Loam first, or I'm going to target the Loam. They might cycle something and pick it up in response. But I can hit the Endurance in response to a regrowth effect on the Endurance. We've seen new Ren already, Ren and Realm Breaker. They did not play Ren and 6 last turn, though. I am going to block Ragavan, by the way. If they play Ren and 6 down tick, but they didn't play Ren and 6 last turn, and they had the mana punished immediately. Fine. We're going to Tasha Town. Do I want to go to Tasha Town, or do I want to go to Fractured Sanity Village? I think I want to fracture some sanity. Fracture your sanity. I want to put as much in the actual graveyard as possible to make my Soul Guide Lantern more potent. Whoa! I was not expecting this. That's a reason not to play Ren and 6 last turn. That's a blowout. That might actually win them the game. They're down to 1 card in hand, but they have Ren and Ragavan. Those are 2 potent permanents. Picked up a Scalding Tarn. Okay, I have to beat this Ragavan now. Which is not impossible, it's just like being 14 cards short of where you thought you were is tough. Got a Seagate Restoration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 1 short of casting that. That's messed up. I did not want to draw that though, so thanks for that, opponent. Fable, okay. That's I'm at 6 on the board right now. If they minus Ren. Featuring Crab, getting that active versus Tashaing right now. I mean, I'm gonna Shelldock Isle and then Tasha. I think I just got a race. Archive Trap or the Devastation Tide. I think it's Archive Trap. And then let's exile like 80 lands from this deck. How about that? Low curve. Punish for it. No, you have another Flusterstorm as your last card in hand? This is an outrage. Alright, I am super dead. Double Flusterstorm is pretty sick against Mill. Okay, how does this game go my way now? I need them to Ragavan to not hit an important card. Then I need to draw an important card. Ragavan, Moment of Truth. Hit Echoing Truth. Moment of Truth. Got him. They could bounce Fable here if they want to reset and make another Goblin token. I would probably make that play if it were me. Oh, no, they're not going to do it now. They're not going to bounce both of them. Unless, I mean, they might want both of them. I don't know their life. Goblin tokens seem better than most cards right now. Okay. Real action off the top here in the form of Misty Rainforest. This is good mills. Mill you for 3. And if I fetch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not quite dead. So I will fetch. I'm at 1 on the board. It's a bad scene, but it's the scene I have to work with here. I'm going to draw a card with this Soul Guide Lantern, then play another one. Exile. Barely matters. I guess I'll take the Endurance. And pass the turn. It's going to take a miracle from here. You get to loot away up to 4 cards. They just need to find 1 point of damage anywhere. And they looted away 0 cards. Oh, wait, no. This one was already on Chapter 2. They only got 1 loot shot, and they still didn't use it. A Wrenn and 6, a Lightning Bolt. Any of these things work. Aggressive Iteration. I think we can safely concede this one. Want to see some more cards? Tell me more secrets. Another Fable. I'm not dead yet. They do have a Besaju in their hand for my Shelldock, though. That's bad. Bolting my Crab is lethal. The 2 Flusterstorms. Very clever. I was not ready for that at all. Do I want Subtleties now that I've seen Endurance and I've seen that they have a kind of messed up sideboard plan against me? I think I might. Devastation Tide out. Soul Guide Lantern I still like. Echoing Truth. Is that important? Jace does not get Flusterstormed. Subtlety doesn't get Flusterstormed. Crabs don't get flustered. Maybe the counter spells are not good because they don't beat Flusterstorm. Alright. Now I'm aware of that card. I can make different decisions. Seagate Restoration is a land, technically. But this hand's pretty bad. Besides, I'm still in. Let's go. Hey, I'm going to go on the Bolt strat and get the Crab in now. If nothing else happens next turn, I would like to at least Visions of Beyond, and I don't get to do both. Yep. Lightning Bolt, clean answer to that. Now have no plan to move forward in this game. Always had it. Ruin Crab. Off the top. I mean, from my hand. Always. Where it was the whole time. Drag. A deck, please a land. Please a land. God. Okay, cycling Fractured Sanity draws as many cards as Vision does, and then it also mills them for 4, so I'm going to do that. Built. Okay, pass the turn. At least this Crab can block Ragavan, and they didn't bolt either before I milled them or at the end of the turn. Wrenn and Realmbreaker, okay. They're deeply, deeply interested in a land here. They milled 3, and they're going to pick up... Oh, they found an Endurance. That sucks. Okay, I know they have Endurance in hand, should they choose to take it, and they did. Need to find a Subtlety or my Graveyard Hate. BDQ. Okay, technically a land. Ouch. I will pay the 3 life, yes. Kill my opponent. And do I shove Jace here? And plus on Ragavan? It's just one less thing to worry about. My life total dwindling painfully. Target player mills 3. Then if a graveyard has 20 more cards in it, you draw 3. Otherwise, you draw 1. So there is a value engine there as well. I go to 12, and Jace shows up with 3 loyalty. And pluses to 4. Okay, yeah, I'm in for that. Jace, go get him. Wait, what's happening? I can cast a spell, right? Okay, yeah, there we go. Freeze up the Ragavan for a turn. Okay. My opponent's holding Endurance. I'm holding Counterspell. We're going to play cat and mouse around this for a while. But having this Planeswalker in play forces some action, I suppose. They can plus Ren onto a land and attack Jace for 3. That's pretty good. They have Seismic Assault. That is good against everything that I have. Depending on how many lands are left in this hand, they could pick off Ruin Crab and kill Jace this turn. If they have no lands, we're in business. There's one. Disappointing. Okay. They did discard 2 lands to do that. Now attacking with Ragavan is live AF. Oh, that was extremely honest of them. Oh, sick. Okay. I can put them to 20 cards. Ancestral Recall. Oh, I can't Ancestral Recall 2. Alright, how do I want to do this? I'm going to Field of Ruin. I think the Soken's on. Or I'm more worried about red cards than green. If they don't have double green. I mean, they tutor a land here, so this barely matters. Alright. I am going to zap them with Field. And now I think I enter the hold up counterspell phase of the game. My Ottawa is in play now, so counterspell's up. And I'm chilling. Ren can minus again and rebuy another Endurance. That's pretty tough. Either didn't have a green... Oh, it doesn't matter. Ren taps for all colors. Alright, yeah, never mind. I was about to say they didn't get double green for Endurance, but yes, they did. Dancing around these Endurances sucks. I do have 4 subtleties in my deck. I did bring them all back in. They are there. Kinda wish I had Dress Down instead of Subtlety, though. That one's way more effective against Endurance. Done 8 damage to myself just from casting spells this game. That's been kind of tough. Okay, so any land in their hand can make Ragavan defeat Ruin Crab in combat. They indicated last turn by their play that they didn't have a land in hand, or they weren't willing to use it in this way. I will block if they attack. And then next turn, I'm going to try to Ancestral Recall with Counterspell backup if I can find a Soul Guide Lantern before they minus Ren again and pick up another Endurance. Shit, they're doing it immediately. Okay. Let's hope they get greedy and don't just take a second guaranteed Endurance. They picked up a Seiju. Okay, great. 2 damage on a crab. They're committed to dealing damage to me. Ragavan's coming in. Don't love it, but I do love that they don't have another Endurance and they're 2 turns away from activating Ren again and getting back a different Endurance. Truth. No good targets for that. He's just cast Endurance right now. Please don't have Flusterstorm right now. Oh god. Don't do me like this. Don't you sack that treasure. Don't you sack that treasure! I quit. My career is over. Alright, that was, we knew about the Flusterstorm. We knew they had it in the deck, but there was nothing to be done about it in that moment. I'm gonna have to Sanity grind them back. And if Sanity grinding gets 20 cards, which is possible, I could Ancestral Recall right now. 12 cards. Alright, that's not that many. Tasha, Sanity, Red Lantern, doesn't matter after that. And I guess I'll pass the turn. They have 5, 6, 7, 8. If they have 1 land in their hand, I'm dead on board. Oh, they have Light from Loam in the graveyard because I just put it there. Yeah, I'm dead on board. And they do seem to know how this works. Okay, yeah. Handful of lands, plus Ren, discard some cards. Really cool deck. Absolutely BTFO'd by Flusterstorm. That was really cool. I hope the Ren theme deck that I have coming up on the channel is as dope as this one. If the person who sent me that watches this, check it out. On to the next round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in round 4. I am going to keep this hand. It doesn't have the crab that I'm looking for in an opener, but it does have 3 lands and starts to cast exciting spells. We appear to be against Amulet again, and that's good news for my Subtlety. Come on, Crab. Not a Crab. I'm going to play Island because I plan on casting Visions just for the cycle. Dryads in. Yeah, we might just get nut run over here. But they made black. That's weird. Okay, it was just, they just burnt it off. Amulet's so weird, they could genuinely just put Thoughtseize in their deck. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, I now have Counterspell up if they don't have Cavern, and I have Subtlety if they do. So, and then I can force a shuffle to clear whatever I Subtlety. Invasion of Ixalan. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 of your library. You may reveal a permanent from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then it flips into a dinosaur. I'm going to counter this. They can genuinely pressure this dinosaur in a way that is scary to my life total. I would not counter Ancient Stirrings here, but I am going to counter this card. Another one. Okay. Tough crowd. 4/3 trample. Whenever you cast a spell, it gains indestructible. Okay. Hope I can race this thing. We'll find out soon. Valakut was found. Hate that for me. Doing 2 damage on the battle that I cannot currently defend. Archive Trap, what's up? Okay, Field of Ruin. Do I want to take out Valakut or do I take out their source of 2 mana? I do get a tasty little Archive Trap in the mix here. I don't think I want Valakut involved in this game if I can avoid it. And Archive Trap you. Get rid of those, please. Sanity Grinding is live for next turn. I hit 3 Primeval Titans here. Pretty good conversion rate. They're going to get their Dino here, which I could Subtlety. But I think I'm just racing now. And Sanity Grinding's online. And still Subtlety. Visions will be alive next turn. Yeah, you can have a dinosaur. Oh god. Invasion of Ikoria. This one, X equals 2. Search a library and or graveyard for a non-human creature with mana value X or less. And I can't counter this. It's not a thing that I can interact with. If they have Vampire Hexmage in their deck, they could just go straight into Stompy Town. Yep, that is the combo. Okay. Suddenly slightly concerned about this race. So this is 8. Each non-human creature you control can assign damage so aren't blocked. 8, 12, 13, 14. I'm not dead yet. Who is going to deal or get the most mill? And can I afford to shock in Seagate Restoration to draw 3 cards? I think I might have to, actually. Okay, I'm going to Sanity Grinding. I'm going to take the big swing that my deck offers me. If this is better than 14, we chose correctly. It was 13, slightly worse. I'm going to stack all of my blue cards underneath the Sanity Grinding on the bottom. Don't think that's going to matter, though. And they have 14 damage. And I go to 16 if I shock this in. I think I have to. I would like to draw 3 cards if possible. And hope that they don't have a surprise 2 damage that I didn't know about. Yep, end step. Zapping their Dino into play. Oh, I can Subtlety this. This is a creature on the way back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really care about Primeval Titan. Yeah. Okay. This buys me a ton of time. Pitching Seagate to Subtlety this thing. I'm probably supposed to draw 3 in response. Maybe Seagate wasn't the worst blue card in my hand. Put it on top. Okay. Gonna Ancestral Recall now and hope they don't have an Endurance they can spin up. It's not live. Okay. But it will be next turn. Okay, I have a path to victory here if they don't have a main deck Endurance. If they just grab a second Hex Mage, we're fine. Okay, they paid 4 for this again. Cool. We did it. Does that have haste? Oh, okay. Sure, here's this dinosaur. I'm not going to counter it again. It's getting in with Arboreal Grazer. Show me who's boss. We've got an Archive Trap in the end step. Wait, what the shit? Oh, it came from the graveyard. I get it. Shit. Okay, we don't actually win unless we draw Field of Ruin. Okay, yep. Damn. Got so excited. Second Archive Trap. And I make them search. I could cycle Fractured Sanity and try to draw a Field of Ruin, and that does it. This is what I have to do. On Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin. It's so smart bringing that out of the graveyard. I thought we had them. Field of Ruin! Ah ha ha ha! Mill is easy. Get wrecked, nerd. And why doesn't everybody play this deck? It's clearly just doing whatever it wants at all times. Here's a 1. Here's a 2. And we're going to screenshot this deck real quick because it's crazy. Nice. Okay. This deck. So, Expedition Map, Amulet. It has Invasion of Ixalan, 1, 2, 3 of those, and 3 Invasion of whatever. Zendikar. Is that what that one is? Primeval Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have all 4 of those. I'm trying to figure out what's not in this deck. Where did they find all this room? Amulet, 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 Amulet. 4 of those. Valakuts. Urza Sagas. Slayer Stronghold. How does Amulet find room for all these cards? Nobody else gets to play 120 cards in their 60 card deck. And it's just fine. They get away with it. I'm going to bring in the Soul Guides. Just going to assume everybody has it. Dress Down is good. Mono Blue Control. We're back in this world. The counter spells are actually more effective here than in previous rounds because of all these battles. Visions can chill, even though it was key to my victory there. I'll back off counterspell a little bit. I mean, Dress Down. What does that even do? Nothing. Yeah, nothing real. Bribery. I guess I'm not going to bribe them. I'm just going to use Soul Guide Lantern if they have Emrakul. Subtlety is so good, but it's also like pretty medium against all the battles. This texture of the deck is really annoying, actually, the sideboard against. Okay. The third Visions is gone. This is what I'm doing. Just a bunch of sideboard cards coming in. No idea if that's right. I've never seen this deck before in this format. Eat my hand. It's a good one. And crab stuff. Opponent had a nice, honest 60 card deck post board. They did mull to 5 though, which puts 2 more cards in their deck. Amulet. I'm gonna crab first. I don't expect this deck to have a whole lot of removal. And then I can land fetch Soul Guide next turn, or Soul Guide land fetch. I think that'll be better. It might be, actually. So if they go bonkers this turn, I might have to hold up Dress Down next turn. Okay, Dress Down it is. You talked me into it. Oh, there's more. Invasion of Ixalan. I can block this game. I couldn't do that last game. Their hand is Endurance and Selesnya Bounce Land. Endurance, Selesnya Bounce Land. What could their last card be that I need to hold up Dress Down now and not like get the Endurance with it in the future? Okay, I'm gonna play Prismatic Ending. Let's go. Or Prismatic Vista. Whatever this thing is. And I'm gonna fetch. I'll play Soul Guide Lantern and exile Boseiju, I guess. Right, they let Soul Guide resolve, so they're not ready to fight over Endurance stuff yet. I just hope I didn't just die by not holding up Dress Down. But I know 2 of the 3 cards in their hand, and then 1 they just drew at random. It'd have to be pretty nutty. Saga, that walks into Dress Down as well. Second Amulet, and we know they have another land drop, and it's the Selesnya Sanctuary. We can have 4 mana here. Could just cast Endurance and put these 5 cards back in their deck. I wouldn't even fight over that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Deal, 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 deal. Cool. Now I don't have to think about Endurance anymore. That's either just them trying to get an attacker into play, or they have an Emrakul or some bigger hit that they'd rather hit me with. Oboro, Milieu, and I'm going to Sanity grind while I have the protection up to do so. Tasha's can get them whenever. Milled for 12. What do I want on the bottom and in what order? don't think it's going to matter. I don't think I'm going to get this deep, but here's all the crabs, and then I don't care anymore. And pass the turn. The one Visions that's still in my deck is in my hand. If they get to 20, we're in business. Cavern on Giant. Shit. I've blown it. This was the turn I needed to hold up. Is the last card in their hand Primeval Titan? Really? This is what happens right now? Yikes. Okay, I thought I had a window here, but I'm about to get prime timed. The Boros Garrison is out of their deck. And they make red-white to get an attack here. If I can dress it down next turn, that's not the worst. A Slayer's Stronghold, but they can't make white. Oh, yes, they can. Every land makes whatever. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, I mean, their last cards in hand had to be pretty perfect for this to work out exactly like this, but I still could have held up dress down and didn't. Disappointing. Yeah, they have the whole shit here, and I had the answer and just chose not to hold it up. Mono blue mill control. Come on, man. Get it together. Okay. We saw Endurance, which we expected. I think I need Subtlety more than I need Jace. I just need to make sure I don't die to Primeval Titan. Counterspell, get out of here. I'm sick of you. Subtlety, get back. Okay, here's what I'm doing. This is a one-lander with 3 crabs. I'm going to try it. I immediately have Buyer's Remorse over this hand. I'm not going to lie. I need to, like, we know they're playing Endurance, so I need a Dress Down or a Soul Guide before this hand even does anything. Come on, land, please. Okay. Alright, I don't have a land. I have 2 Archive Traps. And when I draw my land, I'm going insane. It's the invasion that looks for a card off the top of your deck. Delicate is the choice. They have to search their deck next turn with Saga. On deck, fetch land, fetch land. Oh no. Dress Down is almost the card I want. Just have to hope that Archive Trap messes up a potential Primeval Titan search. They have it here. My next land is such a big deal. I just need to still be alive to dress down the first Endurance, and then we're cooking. I'm worried though. Azusa, jeez. Okay, 2 more land drops coming. There's 1. There's 2. Dryad gets to play another land, and it's Valakut. Okay, that is handled now. I guess I have to trap them, because I don't know if I'm going to get another shot at this. Trap you, trap you. Please let me untap and play a land before you Endurance. Land! Yes, yes, yes! Endurance online. Let's go, let's go, let's go! We had a plan all along. And you thought I was just an idiot. Please don't have Emrakul. Okay, suddenly they're at 13 cards in their deck. There are 1, 2 Endurances in the graveyard already. This is the one that digs in your deck. That's fine. Fewer cards. Not going to complain. Found a Dryad. I don't think I care about this. 1 unknown in their hand. And, oh, they get to start machine gunning with Valakut here. Okay. I mean, that happens, whatever. I can't stop it. I can stop it. Shit. I should have stopped it. I can stop them from playing any more lands this turn. Or I could just let my crabs do the work here. Or, like, absorb the damage, and then... Because they can machine gun this thing. If their last card in hand is exactly Endurance, I'm going to be in the trash, though. Okay, don't have exactly Endurance in your hand. There's 1 mystery card. Okay, we're in there. The lands are still mountains because of layers, but they don't get any more land drops this turn. They can attack a battle for 3 or my life points, and I just spiked a fetch land with 1 crab remaining. This is enough to kill them, and we know their mystery card isn't Endurance, because they would have played it. Please don't have an Emrakul on these triggers. I can Tasha you out. I did not mean to pass priority there. Second main, I'll finish doing what I started. That was scary. And Tasha's, please don't have Endurance. 0 cards in your deck, pass the turn. Did you genius hold endurance, or do I get you? And I got you. God, Mill is so sweet. On to the final round. We're 3-1. We're playing for a bread and butter 4-1. Positive records locked. Let's go. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structure tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. It's the final round. I'm going to keep my hand against my opponent, whose username is I Hate Narset. He said they're a big fan. Sure doesn't seem like it. Do you even know my work? It's all in good fun. We have a positive record locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. A red fetch land and bauble. This is going to be some kind of breach deck, I suspect. Just have to figure out what flavors. Looks like, is it or Jeskai breach? Probably Jeskai if you have Arid Mesa. Okay. Grabs out. This is what we're doing. Milling the breach deck doesn't seem entirely intelligent, but this is what my deck does. If they don't have breach, it's a good spot to be in. Grinding station. I've got something like that. Grinding theme deck coming your way. Mill you for 3. And I'm going to hold on to my other fetch land. Creature, artifact, sorcery, land. They do have delirium. Yeah, I think it's better to just wait. I can't get to 20 here. I don't want to feed them more than I have to. Next turn I can go like land, zap you, fetch, zap you, sanity grinding. Do I want to fire this Visions? Does that do anything? No, Visions holds on to subtlety. I think I like that. Okay, grab you. Fetch. Grab you. Fetch. Grab you. And can I get 37 cards off sanity grinding? Unlikely. I do my best. Build 16 cards. Got Tasha. And then it doesn't matter after that. So I did just reveal a counterspell. Not that I'm holding up blue to make that relevant at all. Let's see how dead I am to breach, because I certainly just gave them everything. I am strongly thinking, and have been for the last 2 rounds, but I'm vocalizing it now, that the Soul Guide Lantern should be in the main deck. There's just a lot of graveyard stuff happening in Modern, and the Devastation Tide has never come up or been good. So I'm pretty interested in just having main deck graveyard hate. Let's see what they do here. Am I deceased? Played Ottawara, played Breach. Yep, looking pretty dead here. Can't Subtlety or Breach. So they need a red source to get Ragavan into play. I can Subtlety an Emery. Like Mox Amber doesn't do it if you don't have a legend. Oh, the Oracle's in your hand already. That's what's happening. Yeah, I haven't milled the Oracle. That means it's around here somewhere. But that's a good one to Subtlety. Okay, yeah, if they just mill themselves out Oracle from hand, I can GG them next turn. Or they'll die on my upkeep because they're going to draw like 10 cards from this bauble that they keep looping. 3 more cards milled, 1 left in the deck. They played the bauble again. I'm going all the way down to 0. Okay, they want this. How about a Subtlety? How do we feel about this? Old Subtlety mill deck? The Breach is still in play. I don't think it can generate any mana though, so I don't know what they would do here. They could start grinding me, but they would eventually run out of cards and they die in my upkeep before I have to draw anything. I think we're good here. They appear to be passing priority. Breach is dead, and they're going to draw 100 cards and die. Wait, why didn't they draw these cards from Bauble? Oh, they were sacking Bauble, right. I clearly don't know what's going on right now. Let me tell you about Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Okay, we got him. Yeah, it did not compute in my brain that those baubles were not being sacked to bauble abilities. Anyway, Soul Guide Lantern and Damping Sphere coming in. Dress Down also insane against this deck. This is all the technology that is good against Amulet is mostly good here. Soul Guide Lantern being an extra one. Devastation Tide, sorry buddy, you're not going to make the final cut of this deck. You don't need it. That's not what these games are about. You need Soul Guide Lantern in the main. I think Visions of Beyond I can shave as usual. Subtlety, Gas. I have all these dress downs. Do I need Counterspell? They do have Teferi in their deck. Subtlety hits that. And I'm going to cut Jace. And maybe it is just some of the counterspells. Do I need Damping Sphere? It does shut down Breach, but so does Soul Guide Lantern and Dress Down. Alright, I'm going to go 1 Damping Sphere, 1 Counterspell, rather than 0 Counterspell. I revealed it in game 1, so they have to think about it in game 2. Live it in their head rent-free. I got a double crab start. No interaction. But I'm a fearless mill player. I'm in. Soul Guide Lantern, you don't say. That is the one piece this hand was missing for me to be super stoked about it. Ruin Crab, get in. Fetching in the end step. Do you have a Bolt? Do you even play Bolt? I know they have Unholy Heat, but they're not quite Delirious. Drew land number 3. These first 2 draw steps since I cut my hand have been basically the best imaginable. Milled 3 Teferis in those 6 cards. Good. I don't want to play against that one. Kill you again, and Soul Guide Lantern. If they counter this untap Jam Breach, I might just lose. So I want to take out of this graveyard. It's all pretty bad for me. There's 2 baubles. So I'll take Ragavan. I don't even know. Care about Ragavan? Nope. The graveyard was just too overloaded to take out any one thing that matters. They have 2 sorceries. I'm gonna have to Soul Guide them anyway if they Jam Breach. EI, that's another 3 cards gone. Or 2. I guess 1 does go back into the deck. I'm not used to thinking about mill math. Unholy Heat. That doesn't work. If I don't want it to. Could go down a crab here. Or I could eat my crab and start Tashaing. I think my crab can go here. They are a graveyard combo deck. I'm not gonna stray from the path here. Get you for 3 cards, and then Tasha you. Splat. Oh, down to 10 cards left. Tasha just hit 23 cards. Holy moly. That's just good deck building over there. They almost got to the card they put on bottom with the EI. They're very close to it. Another EI. Go for it. On an island, okay. 7 cards left in the deck. This is looking good for our hero. Assuming you want me to win. And I hope that you all do, because I'm a good guy. Ragavan. The old turn 4 Ragavan facing down. 7 cards in your deck and a 3 toughness blocker. Really inspired stuff here. Spell Pierce, kind of a beating. Just going to cast my game-winning spell, though. If you Spell Pierce it, that's fine. Skill Dispute, that works too. Okay. 7 cards left in the deck. Still holding up multiple pieces of interaction, including I can wipe out graveyards. I do see all 4 breaches right now, though, so I guess graveyards don't really matter unless they have an Emrakul. Saga, okay. Going to block. Tasha's Oracle is also in exile from the Tashas. Don't have to worry about that coming off the top rope. And they just packed it up. That's a 4-1 with Sanity Grinding Mill, Mono Blue Mill control. Devastation Tide, get out of here. That's happening immediately. At least 2 Soul Guides in the main. And honestly, I very rarely wanted to hold up mana for Counterspell. Like, it's 2 blue pips on Sanity Grinding. I just don't think that's that important. We can still be mono blue with all these Soul Guides in the main. I just cut 6 total blue pips from the deck to play around many main deck plans and every sideboard plan. I think that's reasonable. That opened up a bunch of sideboard slots. I don't even know what to do with those. And we could play some Engineered Explosives in there. Some Chalice of the Void. All of these would be for Cascade decks. But we just don't care about those things, I guess, is my issue. Maybe it's Brazen Borrower. That one has a bunch of blue pips on it, and it's relevant to both sideboard jukes and removing like can't be countered things and can take pressure off the board. I'm gonna put a 4th Dress Down in here too, because that was just so good for the whole league. You know, we paired into multiple decks that care about it. But okay, I'm already liking this better, and I already liked the original. Choo Beans, thank you for this invitation to play Mono Blue Chroma Mill, aka Blue Mill Control, aka the Nuts. 4-1 Bread and Butter. I have performed much worse with much more established decks than this, and I like it. Choo Beans, thanks for sharing it. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, check out the sponsors, and I'll see you next time.